hundreds of years, the anomaly sector has been off limits. Now it's within reach. Dozens of undeveloped systems, hundreds of planets, and thousands of points of interest await exploration. A vast fleet of ships has rushed forward to discover dark skylines. Hundreds of space bases are being established on uncharted planets, while thousands of adventurers venture into the unknown. Riches and glory beckon, but danger and death lurk around every corner. This is the age of the Starborn. The fate of this galaxy is in your hands. Explore the universe in your Telegram. Join the next generation to play and earn games. Take part in the biggest airdrop in history. Experience blockchain and AI in the most technologically advanced Telegram project ever. Starborn Legacy. Play now.
Hello everyone and welcome to our first live stream dedicated to the game Starborn Legacy. Not just the game, but also the pre-game that many of you are already playing. My name is Dmitry Likhno, and I am the producer of this project. Here with me is Maxim Gazizov, the project's lead game designer. Today we'll start by talking about the pre-game that you're already playing, and then we'll share a bit about the main game you'll be playing afterward. Maxim, the floor is yours. So what you're playing now, Starborn Legacy, is what we affectionately call pregame. What's the essence of this pregame? Before the official launch, you have the opportunity to test out some of the mechanics that will be in the main game. Things like raids, base upgrades, and more. You also can earn NFTs that you can later use in the main game or trade, sell, or transfer to others. This is just a small step, the first phase of a large and complex project we're developing in Telegram. Now, what does the pre-game gameplay involve? You upgrade buildings, and by upgrading these buildings, you increase your unit's skill levels. After that, you can send your unit on raids. Depending on your unit's skill level, they'll have varying degrees of success in passing the challenges during these raids, bringing you valuable loot. As you collect loot from raids, you fill up a battle pass, and for each level of the battle pass you complete, you can earn NFTs of different values. Not all buildings enhance skills. For example, there is an intelligence center that increases the maximum difficulty of raids available for you. As the difficulty increases, so does the loot you can earn from this raid, and the skill level requirements rise as well, which is where the buildings come into play. So my personal recommendation is to prioritize skill upgrades. Of course, you can upgrade everything in parallel, and that works too. But for example, in the chat we saw someone who focused only on upgrading the intelligence center, and as a result he wasn't getting much loot. Yeah, that's right, and because he kept going on raids, he would often fail the challenges, or as well we call them encounters. Then he'd come back and say, "Why did I only get 17 loot from this raid?" I'd respond, "Well, take a look, you failed one encounter, then another, then a third, fourth, fifth. What were you upgrading?" He'd reply, "The intelligence center." Your raids became more difficult, but your unit remained weak, because the other 5 buildings are what upgrade your unit's skill. These skills are compared against the strength of the challenges, the encounters that your unit faces during the raid. There's also another building, the mine, located at the top. The mine generates tokens, and by collecting these tokens, you can use them to upgrade all other buildings in the game. As for the loot, it fills up the battle pass, which rewards you with NFTs of different value. Very soon there will be a series of updates, and in one of them you will be able to see the approximate value of the loot. You'll have your own inventory, where you can see everything you collected. This update will also bring some small minigames, but these minigames will be moderately spaced out over the time. Unlike those clicker games where you need to log in every 3 hours to collect cards, you know what I'm talking about, we respect your time. You only need to log in 2 or 3 times a day and you won't miss out anything if you check in every 8 or 10 hours instead of every 5 minutes. We also have a referral system that we highly recommend you take advantage of. For every friend you invite, you'll earn 5% of their income loot. So, the more referrals you have, the faster you'll flip up your battle pass, and the sooner you'll receive your NFTs. This should also motivate you to encourage your referrals to play actively. You can explain to them how the game works so that they understand it faster, and together you all can earn more rewards. More than that, the Battle Pass, designed to be completed by a single player without any referrals, provides a set of NFTs that will allow you to start the main game smoothly and comfortably. However, if you push further and reach the higher levels of the Battle Pass, the rewards are aimed at more serious players. This includes advanced space bases, land plots, mines, layered spacecrafts, and more. So if you're playing solo without bringing in any referrals, you'll still receive everything you need for a solid start as an individual player. This will equip you to begin the game on your own. Later, you might join a team or clan or squad, but if you bring along a lot of friends and referrals right from the start, you'll earn much more. These extra rewards, which are essentially beyond what a single player's battle pass offers, will give you the opportunity to start strong without spending money, providing a significant boost to help you actively develop in the main game. Exactly. In addition to the direct referral system with your friends, we also have a squad system, which is a bit more interesting. If you invite people to join your squad, for example, through a squad link, and they enter the game for the first time, they will also become your referrals. However, squads come with their own set of activities. We will holding raffles and lotteries specifically for squads, and the winning squad will receive more valuable prizes than what you can earn just by completing the battle pass. Let me also say a few words about the upcoming update, specifically the events we're planning to add. In these events, you will be able to earn in-game tokens. Right now, you can earn NFTs, which you can either sell or, as we recommend, keep and use in the main game later, as this will allow you to earn even more later on. But with these tokens, you will be able to obtain additional bonuses in the pregame, just as you can sell them if you wish. But keep in mind, if you start the main game and you're competing against other players who also participated in the pregame, the NFTs you might want to sell won't be as appealing to them because they earned already something similar. However, for complete newcomers who didn't play the pregame and jump straight into the main game, those starting NFTs will be valuable. So it's up to you. Either you get a strong start and dive into the game, or you look for those newcomers selling your NFTs on external marketplaces to players who, for whatever reason, missed the pregame and want to get a powerful start. Exactly. So one way or another, these NFTs will be beneficial to you. And now we will talk about the main game. So, first of all, the main question is what will the game be about? There are no direct analogs yet, but it will be the game somewhat similar to Fallout Shelter on one hand, XCOM on the other, and Space Rangers on the third hand. As the commander of small squad, you explore an unknown sector of space. This sector is uncharted and poorly developed, and you have your own base where the characters are located. Right now, in the pre-game stage, the characters are your unit as a whole. They not divided into individual characters, but eventually, each character will have their own profession. And when you scout out each raid, whether it's raiding an ancient temple, looting a mine that extracts rare ores, intercepting trader ships, and so on, you will be informed about what is needed to successfully complete that raid. These might be checks for combat, diplomacy, exploration, medicine, and so on. There will be a doctor character, a warrior character, a diplomat character, and each one of them will level up their skills by participating in raids. Right now, in the pregame stage, you're just upgrading one of your buildings on the base to improve your unit skills. But later on, you will be upgrading each specific character. Also, you can equip these characters. After scouting the area around you and finding a number of raids, you'll figure out which characters to assemble, in what combinations, and which raids to send them on. And they will return with different useful items. This could be resources, tokens, specific NFTs, consumables, equipment items, and so on. In the game, you'll be upgrading the base and your unit, and once you've explored everything around you, you'll pack your base and move to a new, unexplored location. On some planets, you'll mine ore On others, you'll gather energy. And on others, you might find various rare semi magical crystals, and so on. By flying through space and exploring the world, you'll always find something new, something special. And each sector, each planet gives you not just a new gameplay experience, but a new volume of content that isn't available elsewhere. But don't want to be like many other games that generate hype, attract a lot of players, release on airdrop, and then shut down. No, we're used to develop games that live long and thrive. And even now, as we develop the main game, our game mass and balance are designed for a 5-year lifespan, with expansions already planned for future releases. So, in the pregame, let's say, if you complete the entire battle pass for one player, you'll earn NFTs worth around 500 bucks. But in the main game, there will be special rates that are hard to find with increased difficulty that will require special preparation, and for one such rate, you could earn several NFTs each worth 20 or $30. And all of this will continue to develop. Space battles, bases, everything will be designed for different types of players. Non paying players will have one strategy. Those who pay small amounts and play for fun will have another strategy. Those who come in as investors and buy up a lot of game assets, mines, bases, will have a third strategy. And those who join clans will have a fourth strategy, with completely new gameplay types unavailable for solo players. We're developing a big game in a vast universe, a space where you can live, explore, and fight. The purpose of the pregame is essentially to understand the mechanics of raids, the mechanics of base development, and to prepare a set of assets that will allow you to start off strong and avoid spending money for at least the first few months. After that, it all depends on your desire. So, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Actually, there is some questions already. When will the game be released? As we already mentioned, the first half of the next year. It depends on the amount of content we release, how much more we need to refine our pregame, and what other mechanics we'll introduce. It could be a bit sooner or a bit later, but it's almost guaranteed to be released in first half of 2025. Can we mint the NFTs? Not yet, but of course you'll be able to mint them in the near future, closer to the release of the main game. So the reason there is no NFT minting right now is because one of the main questions at the moment is choosing the blockchain and trading across the different blockchains. Various conditions are being proposed and we're assessing how beneficial they are for us. So we really don't want to make a wrong decision. That's why for now we're just giving you in-game images. And once we choose the blockchain, everything you've earned will be mintable. What is your most successful game? Speaking for myself, I can say that probably Wasteland Wars. It's one of the largest and oldest MMORPGs on Telegram, which has been around evolving and growing for 8 years now. So, Dmitry? Well, yes, the next question already hinted at it. I've been working on Stalker all along, and I've also worked on several other projects. Some of them I can't disclose, but I did work on an interesting browser game called My Lens, which involved real money transactions and was earning over a million per month as it peaked. I've worked on several top casual projects as well, but casual games like Match 3 or idle games didn't really excite me much, to be honest. I also worked on crypto projects, and now I'm back in gaming, being part of the team developing Starborn Legacy. Please, not Solana. Well, let's just say that our blockchain team and marketing team are actively working on this issue. When we choose a blockchain, you will know about it. How to add a new character if I've unlocked one. In the pregame, you earn NFTs that you'll be able to use in the main game. Right now, in the pregame, you have a unit of 3 characters, and essentially, you don't need new characters in the pregame because it's not a unit of 3 characters. It's a unit that visualized as 3 characters, but they aren't divided into first, second, or third. Moreover, if a character is killed in a battle, the difficulty of the checks won't increase. We simplified it this way. Once the full game begins, you'll get actual characters with different classes. Someone might get an engineer, another a fighter, a doctor, or other classes. And that's when you'll see. So we're letting you know upfront that there's a character of a certain rarity, whether common or rare, but we're not specifying exactly which class it will be. What's the difference between the current unit abilities besides their names? I'm talking about science, combat, engineering, medicine, and the last one I haven't unlocked yet. The difference lies in the checks. When you go on raids, you encounter checks for specific skills. Depending on how developed that skill is, the check may be successful or not. The number of these skills depends on your intelligence center and the difficulty level of the raids you undertake. That's why all the skills are important. Before you go on raid, you can see the required skill level for that raid. Based on this, you can level up a specific building or skill before the raid. We had a question in the chat about this. If the raid requires a skill check level of 20 and my skill level is 30, why am I still failing? Let me say a few words about the internal math without going into much detail. Just to give you some orientation. If your unit skill level, let's say in combat, matches the raid's requirement, the probability of passing such a challenge or encounter is 50%. If there is a difference, whether higher or lower, the probability either increases or decreases, and it increases more as the difference grows. The only thing that matters is the difference in points, not whether it's 3 times or 5 times as much. What's important is how many points higher or lower your unit's skill is compared to the check. For example, if your unit's combat skill is 30 points higher than the required check, say the raid requires 20 and your squad's combat skill is 50, then your chance of passing that specific encounter is about 75%. If you're 30 points lower, let's say the raid requires 50 and you only have 20, then your chance drops to around 33%. So the higher your skill, the more likely you are to pass. But it's not guaranteed. Even if you're 30 points above, your chance is only 75%, not 100%. There are also checkpoints. These are special challenges where checks are conducted on two skills instead of just one. This means you need to pass both checks. If your skills are equal, for example, combat is 20 and medicine 20, and you face a checkpoint requiring both, your chance of passing each individual check is 50%. But to pass both checks at the checkpoint, the probability is 25%. However, the best rewards are at the checkpoints. So, whether you bring in back more loot or less from raid depends on how well you pass the checkpoints. Regular encounters are also important to pass, of course. But the best rewards are at the checkpoint. Also, there are encounters that reward you for passing, while others allow you to pass without receiving a reward. Why does this happen? Because some encounters are reward encounters, and others are dangerous encounters. If the player fails a danger encounter, the unit takes damage, and conversely, the player might fail an encounter without taking damage. Why? Because if they had passed it, they would have received a reward. So, not every passed encounter gives a reward, and not every failed encounter results in damage. That's the logic behind it. Why such a name for the game? Well, because it describes our project, our game very well. We spent a long time choosing a name that sounds juicy and describes the project well and fits the settings. Born by Stars sounds good. What is Dark Skylines mentioned in the document? I think Dmitry should answer that. Yes, there will be a separate stream about it. Dark Skylines is a fantastic universe that I am developing with a small team of like minded individuals. There are some texts available about this universe that you can read. I think later I can answer in private messages for anyone who wants to know more. We also want to promote this universe through the project. What happens if three characters die? Briefly, nothing. Well, actually, something does happen. No loot will be rewarded. As soon as they die, they will be returned to the base at the next check, and the player won't receive loot because there's no one to carry it. But in the next trade, we will start with three characters in full health, so there are no long term consequences from character deaths in the pregame. Why is Spanish one of the available languages in the game? Because our entire team knows three languages: Russian, English, and Spanish. When will Ukrainian be added? Languages will be added based on our user base. As more users come to us and use different languages, those languages will be added. While we're waiting for questions, I can make a small announcement. We want to tell you about the game. It has many interesting mechanics and discoveries. We plan to do streams about twice a month. There might be unforeseen circumstances where we won't meet that schedule, but that's our plan. Keep an eye on the news channel for all announcements. We already have 16 streams scheduled, so stay with us, even if you don't watch them live, but at least catch the recordings. You'll know a lot about the game when it launches. Not that you'll read a full encyclopedia about the game, but you will be well informed, understanding the mechanics, strategies, and how to play and learn. Also, write in the Starborn Legacy community chat about how you like this stream, what you'd like to hear in future streams, and what the topics you'd like us to cover. Will there be streams in English? Yes, there will be. Announcements will also be on the official news channel. How did a top player manage to earn almost 20,000 tokens? Well, apparently, this person had a lot of friends. Invite your friends, earn a part of their loot, and you will also be in the top. And you will be happy. Additionally, your chances of winning airdrops, which we will give away among squads, will increase significantly. Well, I think we can finish now. Please write in the comments how you liked the stream and what you'd like to hear about in the next one. Thanks a lot to everyone who came, and thank you to everyone who asked questions. I hope you found it interesting. Well, see you at the next stream, probably at the end of August. At least we plan to launch the next stream by the end of this month, and then continue with 2 streams per month. Thank you everyone. Goodbye.